It's very, very nice to join in on this wonderful Wednesday evening program that you conduct every Wednesday. Such a blessing. Thank you for your seva in this healing ministry. So let's begin with the prayer. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, friend, beloved God, great masters, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mahashaya, Swami Sri Yukteswar, Paramhansa Yogananda, saints of all religions, we humbly bow before you all and invite your presence into our satsang this evening. Fill us with your light, with your wisdom, with your love, and help us to be channels of that light and love to all. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Well, this topic of low self-esteem is very, very interesting because Yogananda, our guru, said that low self-esteem and pride or high self-esteem, sort of self-abasement and too strong of pride and ego are two sides of the same coin. In both instances, we are thinking something about ourselves. Either I'm superior to everyone else or I'm inferior to everyone else. And of course, neither of that is true. We are all children of God, and we are all created as infinite eternal souls, and really just tuning in to the teachings of self-realizations, to the teachings of our gurus. The more we tune into it, the more we realize that it just isn't possible to be higher or lower than another soul, because we're all created from God and all returning to God, and we're just on this evolutionary path from thinking that I'm maybe completely separate and on my own and alone to at the low end of the spectrum to like I am one with the infinite eternal light, love, power, joy, bliss, Satchidananda. So we're somewhere on that spectrum from thinking I'm totally separate and then completely merged. And every day we can be, we're somewhere along that spectrum, and we can even move up at the beginning of the day and back down at the end, and just depends on what experience we're having inwardly, what our consciousness is thinking, where we are on this spectrum. And the way that, of course, we can tune in the most is, I mean, it's no surprise, it just, we have to have an inner experience that we are one with God. And how to do that: meditate, tune in, read the master's words, listen to their voices, practice Kriya Yoga, and get to that experience of stillness in our center and commune with the divine. And so in that communion, of course, we merge, or at least we merge even a little bit, with that infinite awareness that we already are everything. And so, the delusion of Maya is what keeps us all comparing ourselves with others, keeps us thinking that we're separate. And of course, Yogananda used the analogy of the waves on the sea, and the waves that are coming up from the bosom of the sea, they're either super high and thinking that they're so tall and great, or they're super low thinking that maybe I'm not as high as this wave. I wish I were as high as that wave. But no matter what, these waves are sort of crashing along the surface, when really all of the waves' only reality is the fact that they are part of the sea. So how to bring that into our daily life is we have to experience ourselves as part of the sea. And all the teachings that we've been given is that come back to your center, and get still. If I'm living on the periphery of my body, I mean, the periphery of my being, and I'm constantly looking left and right and measuring myself according, well, this person is so successful. This person looks so happy. I'm not successful. I'm not happy. So I have low self-esteem. We can never know what other people's karma is. They can look very happy, but they may be having some severe issues at home, or insecurity issues within themselves that they're trying to make up for outwardly, or all they have is material success, but they have no spiritual awareness. They have no emotional control. We can't compare. Each one of us is an individual soul on this spectrum, and whatever has happened in our life to make us feel like we are not good enough or to give us low self-esteem, it doesn't really help us to go back over, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel inferior? We can accept, yeah, I do feel inferior, but what can I do about it? So this this faith that comes from having direct experience, direct spiritual experiences, is one of the only ways that we can transform our karma. If our karma is stored in our chakras, when we get still and we have that, even a moment of communion, it can realign our chakras, and our soul remembers who we really are. It's like, I am that infinite self. And just a millisecond of awareness of that can rearrange the vibration of our chakras and bring us up that evolutionary scale, closer and closer to remembering that Smriti, remembering who we really are. And really, that's just an inside job. We can be doing affirmations. We need to be aware when our subconscious has taken over, with influencing our conscious life and our conscious decisions and our thoughts. And so we can reprogram our subconscious mind with japa, with affirmations. There is a quote here, an affirmation here by Swamiji. Actually, I'm not sure if it's Swamiji or your master. No matter what happens to me or around me, no matter what others think of me or what I do, I love and value myself. For I realize that I am not the little self only, but also the greater self, made by God, made in God's image, ever perfect, ever free. It's a beautiful affirmation. And I can repeat that again. No matter what happens to me or around me, no matter what others think of me or what I do, I love and value myself. For I realize that I am not the little self only, but also the greater self, made by God, made in God's image, ever perfect, ever free. And something that Swami Kriyananda wrote at the beginning of his little book, The Secret of Self-Acceptance. He said, while traveling the road back to self-acceptance, bear in mind that you, in common with every other human being, are unique. The melody you have to sing is yours alone for all eternity. The role you have to play on life's stage can be played by no one else. Your allotted task is to learn to play it to perfection. That melody, however, or that role, belongs to a more expanded selfhood than the realities you experience in your little ego. Transcend all limitation by contemplating ever more expanded vistas of reality. Again, in meditation. Ultimately, you will discover who you really are behind all the ego masks that you, in common with most human beings, learn to move from your ego squeeze of self-rejection to the relaxation and joy that accompany self-expansion and total self-acceptance. When we reject ourselves, we reject the God within us. When we disrespect ourselves, we disrespect the God within us. Do we believe that God made us? Yes. Do we believe that God is in us? Yes. So then what is this ego bashing, self-abasement that comes again and again? It's a bad habit of mind. And these sort of neural brain patterns just take you back to that again and again. Affirmations, japa, meditation, right company, introspection, journaling. Just remember who you are. We need to remember who we truly are. And there's nothing like meditation to do that. And being around others on the spiritual path that know this truth, that practice this truth, that will also affirm it with you. And never compare yourself to others. Never compare yourself to others. We alone have our own journey, and we alone have our own song to sing, because as we travel this road to self-realization, from being a separate wave to being merged with the sea, we will just learn to sing that separate, unique song, which is unique to us, to all the world, to all creation. We will learn to sing it more and more perfectly, and trust ourselves, and trust that God and Guru are guiding us to the right path in everything. I move forward in perfect faith in the power of omnipresent good to give me what I need at the time that I need it. The right thought, the right phrase, the right friends, the right protection, the right guidance, everything that I need. It's God's joy to give to us. It's the Guru's job to lift us up, to bring us along this path, this self-realization. We need to commune with them and attune ourselves to them. If we're attuned to them, we cannot possibly have an inferiority complex. And if we ask, who am I? I'm God's child. I mean, really, we shouldn't be answering any other way than that. I'm a father, I'm a businessman, I'm a mother, I have this role, I'm this nationality, I'm this religion, I'm this gender. We are none of those things. Those are self-definitions put on by our ego, maybe after lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes. And those self-definitions might have become negative in the past. But again, it's not up to us to find out what about the past. It's what do I do now? And the fact that you're asking these questions now show you that you're just ready to accept the truth of who you are, which is God's perfect, infinite, eternal child that is aligned with all power of the universe, all love of the universe, all bliss, all calmness, all peace, all light. We can also say, Divine Mother, I haven't done well. Lord, I haven't done well up to now, but naughty or good, I am your child. Only you can help me improve. And Yogananda said to his disciples, he said, Master, Master, bless me that I may improve. And he said, my blessings are there. God's blessings are there. It's your blessings that are needed. So we have to put out that self-effort so that grace, that faith that we are one with God, that grace that we can feel his, her presence within us and all around us. He is there already in every atom of our being. But it takes our effort to open ourselves to perceive that grace, to perceive that presence. And that is the essence of the spiritual path. That's why we meditate. That's why we have a sadhana. That's why we put out this effort. so that we may experience that grace. And once we maybe experience it in the stillness, then we experience it in activity until we're experiencing it all the time. And if we're experiencing all the time, we're obviously not having a problem with self-esteem. So let me see if I can end with something. Swami has said, the secret of self-acceptance is not identifying yourself with failure. Neither success nor failure can define you, you who are made in the image of infinite perfection. And let's just close our eyes, and you can repeat this affirmation. I've already read it twice, but you can repeat this affirmation after me. We'll do it together. Sit up straight, take a double breath. Exhale. Do it again. Gaze up at the spiritual eye. And now repeat after me in a loud voice if you can. No matter what happens to me or around me, no matter what others think of me or what I do, I love and value myself. I love and value myself. For I realize that I am not the little self only, but also the greater self, made by God, made in God's image, ever perfect, ever free. I am also the greater self, made by God, made in God's image, ever perfect, ever free. Ever perfect, ever free.